Well, good morning, everyone. I'm here in the Philippines. It's Monday. Yesterday, I went to church, being Sunday, and I went to this church, and this guest speaker was speaking, and I happened to have a vision. And the more I think about the vision, the more I think it was not just about the people that I saw in the vision, but the pastors in general. I saw the guest speaker and I saw the pastor of the church. And the guest speaker, he was standing at this big door. There was a great wall and then the big door. And on the other side of the door, there was this tremendous great fire, the fire of God. You could call it revival fire. He was just standing real close to the door. I mean, inches from it. His nose just like 1 inch or more, or less, somewhere around 1 inch from the door. And he was knocking on the door. And he was staring straight into the door. And he was knocking relentlessly, just not stopping. Nothing was stopping him from knocking on that door. And occasionally the door would get so hot that he would feel the fire from the door coming through the door, and he would be excited and think, oh, we got revival. But then that fire would just kind of dissipate. But what I noticed was he never looked around. He just looked straight forward at the door. If he'd have just looked down, there was a doorknob there. The doorknob was a plain, normal, everyday doorknob, round, dull, bronze type, but weathered, real dark, dull looking. But out of the doorknob was comes bright, brilliant light. And it was pulsing. Not fast, just slow, like it would go boom, boom. And it was almost as if the doorknob was saying, look at me, look at me. But the man never noticed the doorknob. He just kept waiting for someone from the other side to open the door. And I could see through the wall, but I could not see the door. And as I looked through the wall, I could see people in the fire, but there was a long ways off from the door. There was no one coming to the door to open it. The door had to be opened from one side, the side that the pastor was standing on. But he was too busy knocking, he didn't recognize the doorknob. And I saw this very high-tech lock on the door, which I found odd. It was kind of like a keypad, but he never even looked at the doorknob. But the lock didn't accept a code, it accepted DNA. And only the DNA of Christ could open the doorknob or turn the doorknob to open the door. But as I was looking, all of a sudden I backed up and I saw the other pastor. She was further away and she was knocking on the door just like him, but she wasn't even near the door. He was close to the door, she wasn't. But she thought she was. But neither one of them noticed the doorknob. And I happened to been thinking, I said, Lord, what's going on? They didn't recognize the doorknob because they didn't walk in the humility they needed to be the doorknob. The doorknob was plain, ordinary, nothing to brag about. It was an individual. It was somebody sent by God. You have to have two things to be able to open that door: the Christ DNA and the knowledge. The Bible and the verse kept reading through me. My people perish for a lack of knowledge. He didn't have the knowledge to look down. He didn't have the discernment to see the doorknob or to recognize the fire of God or the light of God coming out of the doorknob. But he kept knocking and knocking and knocking and knocking. And I said, Lord, why are they knocking? Why don't they just recognize the gifts that God sends to them and open the door. That can open the door. And I kept seeing the same thing. My people perish for a lack of knowledge. These people are hungry for the Word of God. These people are hungry for a move of God. They're hungry for revival. And they're crying out for revival all over the world. And they're crying, whining, and begging. And all they have to do is open the door. Or use the one that God sends to them. Open the door. And I'm just dumbfounded at how you can cry for revival for so many years, but yet your eyes be so blinded to what you need to do. Just open the door. Walk in and walk through the door and walk in the fire of God, and you will have revival. Anyway, that's what I saw. There's more, but that's went to something personal, and I don't want to get into that. I just wanted to give the what I believe was for pastors in general. It wasn't really about them as much as it was pastors in general. And I just thought I'd share it with you. Thank you very much. I hope you are blessed, and I hope you doorknobs that God sends to you as pastors, and that you receive the fire of God and walk in revival from God, and may it continue till the day He returns. God bless.